Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amalmi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing a man is not a financial plan. And this video is inspired by a particular video where a woman who was a stay-at-home mom, tradwife for a long time, and now is divorced and she's finding it hard financially. So she made a video discussing our situation. So let's check that video out and then I'll come back to share my thoughts about the whole situation.
I want to start this video by saying that I'm not asking for money and I'm not asking for sympathy. What I'm asking for is if you are a young 14, 16, 21-year-old girl, listen up. I drove to the grocery store. I need to grab some milk and bread and a couple things, flipped open the bank app on my phone, and I've been sitting in my car crying ever since because I never have enough money. And why do I never have enough money? Because when I was a 19-year-old girl, I fell in love. My Mormon faith told me that I was supposed to be a stay-at-home mom. I got married. I started having babies. I dropped out of college. I never had a career. My only jobs that I ever had in life were a waitress at the Olive Garden and managing a pretzel maker in a mall. Oh, my first couple years of marriage, I decided that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, so I bought a windshield business. I was 20. And my Mormon stake president reminded me that women weren't supposed to work, so I quit my own business, handed it over to my husband, took my name off of it. I would work our family business throughout the next 24 years of my marriage, but I never got paid. I didn't have a salary. My name wasn't on it. I literally worked for room and board. That's it. I would eventually also launch a custom home building company with my uncle as the architect and my friends as the builder, my designs, my realtor. But again, because my husband was the man, his name was on all of the projects, his name was on the business. I remember one of the last custom homes that I built, we sold it and made about a $260,000 profit. That money all went into his bank account. I didn't even have a bank account. I should have said that in the beginning. I never had a bank account. He would give me little envelopes of cash to go grocery shopping with. Anyway, that house sells, the money goes in the bank. I just asked if I could buy myself a piano with the money. I had worked on building that house for 2 years. All of the money went into his bank account. Nothing was under my name. I got a piano. And I got a free house to live in. And I got groceries. So I found myself divorced at age 44 just 5 years ago, and within just a few months I was living in my car while he made about $250,000. He would eventually quit that job so that he wouldn't have to pay alimony and child support. He has only paid alimony one time ever in the 5 years since we've been divorced. Once ever. Right after my divorce, I remember being really confident about my ability to get a job, so I put together a resume. I remember one of the first interviews that I had was a management position for a windshield company, similar to the one that we had run. And the man actually laughing as he was interviewing me, like he was really sympathetic. He wasn't being a douchebag, but he was laughing. And he's like, so let me get this straight. You helped manage your family windshield business with your husband, but you were mostly a stay-at-home mom, and all you did was like the marketing and the hiring, firing, and some of the strategy for the business. But it became really apparent that I needed so many more skills to have any type of management job. I couldn't even like work the basic computers. He told me in the interview, please don't apply for any more jobs like this. You are not qualified at all. You're not capable of doing this unless you go back to school and get your degree or get some different experience. And so I ended up, my first job after my divorce was $11 an hour, 4 hours a day, working as an assistant to a school teacher in an elementary school. I made $44 a day. For 24 years, I lived in $1 million homes. I vacationed all over the world. I spent my summers in Hawaii. I could buy myself $500 jeans, diamond tennis bracelets. We had boats and RVs and whatever I wanted. And it never bothered me once that my financial security was dependent on that man being in love with me. I never realized that him liking me or not liking me or finding me sexy or attractive or interesting determined whether or not my children could eat, whether or not I could buy myself a fucking jug of milk and a loaf of bread. So I had my 5th surgery in 2 years, 2 weeks ago, and I'm supposed to be in bed resting, and I can't because I've worked 7 days a week since my divorce 5 years ago, which is why I'm covered in paint and looking like crap. We actually have a 4-day weekend here in Tucson, and since my partner isn't working, he's working on furniture flip partner projects with me. I have no retirement, I have no savings, no education, no resume. I was almost a straight A student throughout all of my education. I went to college at age 17. I had dreams for my future. I'm working so hard to get myself out of just perpetual side hustle hell. There's not a day that goes by that I don't wonder why. Why I didn't have a fucking backup plan. Why my kids eating and having stability was dependent on a romantic relationship. Why nobody told me to put money in the bank. Why nobody told me, don't have babies until you have an education and some experience. Don't have so many kids. I wish somebody had told me to put my name on our vehicle loans and to put my name on our houses. I wish somebody had told me that it's okay to put those babies in daycare for a couple days a week and go to college and have a job. And I think I need to do an entire tradwife sequel, because you can be happy and rich and loving your life like Ballerina Farm until the guy walks out. I want you guys to imagine for a minute, even rich Hannah, if Deanna walked out, if all of his financial backing and he had to sell the farm, and then what does she have? Find another rich boy to marry? I just don't want one more woman to DM me, comment, send me their stories, cry to me about how hard it is for them to support their families, and I am so tired of living my own story. We have to make this stop. Raise your daughters to be financially independent. Focus on their futures and educations just as much as you focus on your sons. I wish that someone had done that for me.
Oh, no. What did I just listen to? Oh my God. She was just talking and I was like, no bank account. You are making money. You have a business. You you have the idea, the business idea. You are working on it, but because someone said as a female you should not have a business, you should not be running it, your name should not be on it, you now gave it to your husband. 250,000 profit, your husband in his account, he will now be giving you money. Hey, oh, God forbid, what is that? Now I have a video that I recently put up where we discussed about a man can ruin a woman's life, and I talked about the fact that I don't think I can ever be a full-time stay-at-home mom, and even if I'm a stay-at-home mom or trad wife, which I personally cannot be, I'm going to have a financial backup plan, a financial backup. Nest egg, investments, so many things. I was listening to this and I was vexing in my spirit, because what the heck? It's obvious that she had the entrepreneurial spirit, and if all those things that she was saying was in her name, when he decided that he's no more doing it, she would have got, in fact, he would have been able to decide it, because she obviously has been the brain behind everything to make his lifestyle better. But she just put everything in his name. No bank account. It can't even be me. I have multiple bank accounts in different countries. I don't want to say, you see this thing called religion, the way some people don't follow what is inside the Bible, or this she's inside the Bible. Everything you be hearing, my pastor, my this, that's what happened to this. How can you not have a bank account and your mom, your leader said, oh, a woman is not supposed to have a business, not supposed to have this, she dropped out of college. Anyway, let's check out what people had to say about this whole situation, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts.
My kids eating and having stability was dependent on a romantic relationship.
Please go watch her video. I think every woman should watch that video. And my heart absolutely breaks for her, but it's so important. I'm so glad she's sharing her story because we've seen such a concerning uptick in tradwife content that kind of encourages women to not have their own financial freedom and depend on other people for their financial security. And statistically, one of the reasons people stay in domestic violence situations or unsafe environments is because they don't have the means to leave and they're financially trapped. And your financial freedom, your ability to support yourself should never hinge on anybody else than yourself. And so that's why my stance with this type of content is not only is it maybe a little bit less, feminist, but it's incredibly dangerous. Tradwife content is dangerous, and I'm going to be really firm on this. And yeah, it might seem extreme, but I believe it's dangerous to encourage women not to have their own financial stability. Your ability to support yourself and your children should never hinge on the status of your relationship with a man, just based off of the divorce rates alone, whether there is DV or not. And if you can't work full time, like putting something on the side, putting some money away, signing a prenup, anything to secure yourself and make sure that this person doesn't completely ruin you if he decides to walk away. Worse yet, if you need to escape. And lastly, I want to note that women have always worked. The only type of woman that didn't work ever are very wealthy, like rich, white women. So let's debunk this because that's never really been a thing.
Alright, I saw this video like most people several days ago, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it since. This video really struck a chord with me because it's what happened to me. I am 27. I got divorced at 26 after I had done the tradwife thing. I got married at 19. I had 3 babies, and I was a stay-at-home mom. I dropped out of college. I didn't have a job. So at 20, we separated when I was 25. So at 25 years old, I had nothing. I didn't have an education. I didn't have a work history. Because of those 2 things, when we went to court over custody of our kids, he was able to point to those. He asked me for the divorce. He fought for custody of the kids. Given I had stayed home and taken care of these kids as my full-time situation for 6 years. And he was able to say, she doesn't have a job. She doesn't have an education. She lives with her mom and dad. She can't take care of these kids, and he got primary custody of our kids. And so every video that I see now of tradwives, and people idealizing this lifestyle, it makes my heart break. It hits a chord with me because I did everything right. I did all the things you were supposed to do. Stay home and raise your babies and do all of that. And in the end, I got left out on my ass with nothing. I did not get my kids. I did not have a job. It was very difficult for me to get a job when you don't have a work history or an education. Very hard to get a job that can pay your bills when you do that. And so when I first saw this video, I literally have not been able to stop thinking about it because this is real life. This can happen to you. Thinking, oh, he's my husband, whatever, may not protect you in the long run. When you have nothing. So this is like a PSA to women that that can happen to you. I know there's a lot of misconceptions out in the world that oh, moms always get custody, judges default to moms. Well, the fact of the matter is if you have just been a mom this whole time and he fights for those kids, he puts up a fight, he has everything in his favor because he has the financial means to raise children and you don't. When he puts you out, like what happened to me. So just think about that, ladies. Think about the reality of that because it's literally heartbreaking and it's so hard to build your life up after that.
This
This is going to be controversial, but when it comes to the tradwife at 20 to single mom at 40 pipeline, y'all really have no one but yourselves to blame. What do y'all think the second wave feminist movement was all about? The grannies been told us. The aunties been told us. Our grandmothers had to fight the U.S. government to get bank accounts. And barely even 50 years later, y'all are voluntarily giving them up because Connor from English 101 told you he was going to love you forever. What? Y'all, please BFFR. We are so much smarter than this, ladies. Do not trust the relationship decisions you make at a time where your boobs are fully developed, but your brain is not. When you let a man have complete and total financial control over you, he will always eventually fuck you over. At the end of the day, they're always going to have the mindset of, well, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. The entire stability of your life cannot rely on a man that you marry in your 20s wanting you for the next 60 years. And vice versa, because the tea is, what happens when you wake up and you don't want him anymore? What happens when you're ready to walk away, but you have no job experience, no bank account, nothing, because your entire future relied on this guy, this one human being wanting you forever, or you wanting them forever. I love my man down. I would die for that man right now. I truly am in love with him from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head, but I will always love myself more. Always. I'm talking separate bank accounts, prenup, the works. Because when you fail to plan, you're what? Planning to fail. Always remember, if you don't take nothing else away from this conversation, always remember a man is not a plan. A man is not a plan. A man is not a plan.
I want to start this video by saying that I'm not asking for money and I'm not asking for sympathy.
First of all, sending lots of grace and good wishes to Jenny, but I have a feeling she's going to be all right. She's a really smart woman. But I just want to say, like, recently there has been an explosion of tradwives on social media, both here and on the other app, and the glamorizing of having multiple children and staying home and making everything from scratch and just having a ball, not working outside the home, obviously, and just making a home inside the home. And it's great, right? I love it. I follow some of the biggest creators that have this lifestyle and portray this lifestyle, and I love that for them. But for those of us normal people who might be watching this kind of content and feeling inadequate and feeling like, wow, I wish I could live this lifestyle, I just want to bring a very obvious fact home to you, that while they're portraying this lifestyle and garnering millions of followers while doing it, this is actually work for them. This is how they're creating their income. And some of them are creating millions of dollars worth of income by pushing this narrative and pushing this agenda. So yes, while you might see a 30-second clip of someone making sourdough bread from scratch, and making you, well, not making you, but you might feel bad about yourself because maybe you went to the drive-thru for your kids' dinner that night and you're thinking, this person has 5 kids and they're 25 years old and I'm 30 with only 1 kid and I don't have time to do the things that they have time to do. Remember, that might have been the only piece of content that they created that day. They might have even batch created that content on a Sunday. It doesn't mean that this is what they get up every day and do, put makeup on and put on a beautiful gown in the kitchen and make everything from scratch. That is not reality. Social media is fake. The majority of it is fake. People put out 30-second snippets of a whole day. I have never come on here and posted myself crying or posted my children having a bad day or my daughter having a tantrum and a meltdown in Target. I post pretty pictures of my outfits, but I'm not posting the days when I'm laying in bed in my pajamas with eye boogers and my leave out not matching my sewing. I'm not posting that. That's not the kind of content that I create. And so remember, you're being sold a fantasy. So just because someone's posting, oh, I have 9 kids and I live on a farm and I make everything from scratch. Remember, that is their job. That is what they're making millions of dollars for. Companies are sending them tons of free product. They're getting invited to events. They have social media managers who are pitching them to brands. And also, there is a political agenda afoot against women making reproductive choices. So if all of a sudden, at the same time that millions of women in this country no longer have agency over their own reproductive rights, is the same time that creators who are espousing having tons of children and staying home and not having a career are also exploding. There might be some type of correlation afoot there. Maybe I'm putting my aluminum tinfoil hat on a bit too much. Maybe this will go over some heads. Maybe this is too heavy for some people's heads. But there's a lot at play here. You know what I mean? Like when I post an OOTD, I'm a fashion creator. When I post an OOTD, it is heavily influenced by the brands that I have sitting on my desk who have sent me packages. So yeah, maybe that day I felt like wearing a black dress, but am I gonna pick out black dress B that's been sitting in my closet for the past year, or am I going to pick out black dress C that was sent to me by a brand who is offering me commission for those sales, or I want to build a good relationship with? Yeah, of course, I only post things that I love and enjoy and I truly care about. I'm an authentic creator. But yes, this is also a way that I earn an income. So yeah, obviously I'm also gonna post things that will help me generate said income. And I just feel like, you know, as an older woman on this app, like I'm 42 years old soon, I can't be complicit with the BS that goes on. Like I have to let some of you know, because I read the comments under some of these creators and everyone's like feeling so inadequate. Like, oh my gosh, I wish I could live like this. They're not even living like this. They are creating a fantasy for us so that we will buy their products. Eventually, they're going to come out with some grocery bag for $100 and something, or some cookbook, or some clothing line, whatever it is, sheet sets. And that is how they made their income. They're work from home moms, not stay at home tradwives.
My financial security was dependent on that man being in love with me. I never realized.
Her financial security was dependent on her husband being in love with her. And I don't know about you, but that was a whole word right there. You could do a whole sermon on what that means and the implications of it. And if you have time, I highly encourage you to go back and watch her video that I stitched, where she tells her story of what it was like to be a tradwife, specifically within the Mormon church, and how dangerous these tradwife accounts are that are popping up across social media, mainly TikTok. As someone who grew up listening to her grandmother, who grew up in the 50s and in this era that is being idealized, I have never heard her tell me to depend on a man. Since I was a little girl, I can always remember her telling me to get an education, to have my own money, and be able to do for myself, because you cannot depend on a man to do that. And a lot of these women they're fighting for their lives in the comments, and I've just been mostly lurking, talking about how their husbands would never do that, or they're happy in their partners, and you know, everything is mutual. And I agree, but even in this day and age, I don't trust like corporate America. I don't trust jobs. So we're all going to depend on my husband's one income when the company can fire him at any moment, because, you know, most people don't work union jobs. They're in at-will states. And so it don't really matter. To me, having two incomes is security. And not only that, but I like working. I grew up around women who worked. They took care of their children. Is it the quote unquote best of both worlds? No, there are challenges with every lifestyle, if you will. But I really feel for that creator that I stitched, because her husband left her with nothing when he up and decided to divorce her. And I can't even imagine starting my life from scratch in my 40s. And I'm almost there. Like, I have worked so hard to build my career, but doing it at 40 with kids, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So while we may be in the era of sprinkle, I highly encourage you to consider what it means to hand over your financial stability to someone else, especially if you are not making plans for what could happen. You know, a breadwinner can get hurt, they can get sick, God forbid, cancer, things like that. And then what? One income in this economy is just irresponsible. If you can help it, I will say that, there are single mothers, single parents, people who don't have the luxury of having a partner to help support them. But if you do, if you have a partner and you guys are working together to build a household, then you got to build some repetition into the system, some redundancy. There's got to be more than one stream of income. And that's just the reality of today's world. If we had one stream of income, we would be struggling right now. And we're just middle class. Like, we would be struggling, probably eligible for being benefits from the government if we didn't have two incomes. Two incomes allows us to be okay. And that's the reality. So, yeah. As I've said before, I'm gonna listen to my grandma. I'm gonna have my own money. I'm gonna have a job. And I'm not gonna depend on my husband for financial stability. I depend on him for a lot of other things. He pampers me. But having one income, that's insane. Like, I wanna do things. I wanna travel. I wanna go on vacations. I wanna, buy takeout on a whim because I don't feel like cooking. I want to have a cleaning service. I can't do that on one income unless you are the 1% who makes like between 500,000 a year and up.
What I'm asking for is if you are a young 14, 16, 21-year-old girl, listen up.
I've seen a lot of leftist content creators making fun of tradwife content, and I think they're largely missing the point. Like, yes, they uphold patriarchal standards and stuff, you hate to see it, and a lot of them are just silly. But the most important factor in tradwifery is that these women are in danger. Think about the social profile of a man who actually wants a 1950s housewife. Think about how all of these women, cis and white they might be, are just one breakup away from being homeless. Think about how many children are in danger because of men like this. I commend this woman so much for coming out and sharing her story because you know that she's getting hatred from not only her old community of ultra-conservatives who probably ushered her into this lifestyle, but also from quote-unquote leftists who are happy to make content about people like this and be like, oh, I told you so. You deserve to suffer now because you weren't a feminist like we told you to be. I personally predict that we're going to be seeing a lot more of this former tradwife content over the next few years as women start to come out about the horrific things that have happened to them. And I just want the online left to not treat them like utter garbage because of decisions they made decades ago. I don't care how ultra-conservative you once were. I don't even really care how ultra-conservative you are now. Everyone deserves to have their basic needs met. People of all genders deserve to have housing, healthcare, security, all of these things. It does such a disservice to women to openly mock them on the internet all day. What we need to be doing is creating holding spaces for these women to get out and transition into safer spaces and safer ideologies. Because dunking on tradwives is just alienating them and keeping them in these horrible abusive relationships.
Okay, a lot of people are sympathetic with her whole situation and they are really like telling people, especially the younger ones, no matter how their content that says, oh, the trad wife and everything, I'm telling you, a lot of the people, especially these content creators that are showing stay-at-home mom life and the rest, and the mommy vlogging and everything, that mommy vlogging, the stay-at-home content, everything they are putting up, they are generating money from it. And some of them might have financial plan and some of them might have accounts where they are putting their money. Now, I would advise anybody who, even if, like she used to say, they used to, the husband, the first original creator used to say her husband used to give her money in envelopes and everything. If your partner is doing like that and maybe you don't have an account, or if you have an account, take a certain percentage. I don't care what anybody says about that. Take a certain percentage of all the money that is giving you and put it in a savings account, or in fact put it under your bed, or put it somewhere, or give it to put it somewhere safe, maybe in your own closet or somewhere that you would not touch. Another thing is investment. Now, she said she used to go for vacation, buy things and the rest. While she was buying clothes and the rest, there's something I recently saw. Someone said for females that you can buy gold. And when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. In Africa, I think most African countries, and let me just say in Nigeria, but I think it's also applicable to a lot of African countries. A lot of our older women, our older elderly women used to buy gold, bracelet, gold, everything. And I think that is a very good investment, because in my opinion, gold never goes out of fashion, and you can always sell the gold. It also I think gold appreciates. So buying gold bracelet, gold jewelries instead of, I think they said gold is more suitable or more durable or more financially smart than buying diamonds or something. That buy gold that you can later sell, and you can use it to prop up yourself in case things like this happen. Because it's the whole story is just so pathetic. Like, no. Now she has to start all over again. And obviously when she said she applied for the management role, I was like, oh, there's no way you will get it, because first of all, you did not finish college. Second of all, you have been a stay-at-home mom for 24 years. It's not it's not possible. It's not possible. And I hope people watched the video fully and listened to some of the points that she made. She said she wished that when she was younger, somebody had told her that she should keep her children in daycare for some days and then go to school and try and get a degree. Well, in the other video where we discussed a man can ruin your life, if you check the comment section, you will see that a lot of people were saying that their partners at the point in time did not want them to go to school, did not want them to achieve their degree, did not want them to advance in their career, and because they were so in love, they did not do that. Then something snapped, and then they decided to get their degree, and things happened. And no, this whole story is so, it has just knocked me off, because no, I keep on saying it, I cannot do that full-time stuff. If you are going to do it, have a business that you are in control of. I'm saying it again, have a business that you are in control of. Now, she had businesses, she had business ideas, but she was not in control of it. If she was in control of all the businesses that she did and kept all her money, even if she spent some on the house, she would not have been thrown into a loop immediately the man decided that he doesn't want the marriage anymore. And she's talking about the fact that even the alimony he was supposed to pay, he has only paid it once. So he decided just to punish her, to leave the job that he was doing, and then it's now coming to declare that I don't have enough money. Oh God. Oh, I feel like looking for the person and just like beating him up. Like, what is that? I don't subscribe to violent behavior, but in this case, a little knock is necessary. Now, if you watch the other video that I'm talking about, the other video I keep on referring to, I talk about the reason why I said I cannot be a full-time stay-at-home mom, and it's based on my mom's experience. And this whole situation makes the whole reason that I said I cannot be a full-time stay-at-home mom more concrete, because no, that somehow again, if you are going to be a full-time stay-at-home mom, have savings, have a financial nest egg, have something. Personally, I said I would not enter into a marriage without a financial backup, like without money, like some people say vexation money, yes, without investment, without things stock or whatever, because now I will not do the same thing. I will not repeat the mistakes of my mom at all, or mistakes like this woman made. No. Any which way, I don't know what you guys think about this whole situation. I don't know what you think about her story, because I know. And the worst part is there's so many women like this. So many. And a particular video I saw today where the person was saying that they would love it if females teach people, other females, how to like make investment, how to build their financial net worth and the rest, even if they want to be stay-at-home moms or just people working, so that at least they can attain financial freedom quicker than later. And I think that is a good idea. I don't know if there'll be any creator that can dumb it down for us, because some people like me, when it comes to all these financial things, my head used to go, I don't know, I just go like, I cannot think. I can think about other things, but once it's finances and accounting and the rest, I really I can't comprehend it. So it would be nice if we can get some women who can speak in our language. So anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this whole situation. Do you have any experience like this, or do you have any advice for any full-time stay-at-home mom to avoid this kind of situation where when the guy decides that he's no longer interested in the female, she's thrown into a loop like this original creator? I would love to hear some of your thoughts, some of your suggestions on what people have to do, especially stay-at-home moms, just to make sure that this kind of thing does not happen to them. Because even if the guy is providing for them financially and he doesn't divorce, you don't know, anything can happen. Something, death could happen, or it could be disabled or something, and I might not be able to have that ability to provide for the family as he used to. So it would be nice to hear some suggestions on how people can, especially stay-at-home moms or even females, can attain financial freedom and have a financial backup plan. So please leave your comments in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.